Peace, peace. Another episode 4. Man, episode 4, Overthinker Podcast. And we back with another one as we always do. We're going to start the podcast with a moment of silence and just want to show gratitude for the day and just be thankful for the day, the negative and the positive. And we just want to be thankful for. So we're just going to start off today, moment of silence. We'll go ahead and get the show started. All right, so blessings to everybody out there. I hope everybody out there is doing well and doing what they need to in order to be the person they set out to be in this society, in this world. And as y'all see the title for the night, man, it's money, currency, and the value of you, the value of people, us, the people. And one of the things that led me to come here with money mechanics, currency, and getting the understanding of the difference so we can start upholding not just ourselves but society properly. All right. One of the things that I just learned about money myself is that money is not what we think it is. Right. A lot of the things that we dealing with in today's day and age is currency. Right. So we gonna break all that down. The reason why we breaking all that down is because of what's going out here in the world. Right, we got the BRICS doing what they doing. Everybody worried about the American dollar and this, that, and the third. So you got also the global crisis, which we talked about last night if you was tuned in. And so it just, every episode is just leading into one thing, and that's how we gonna play this game. And so the rise and collapse of the new power, right? Rise and collapse of the new power, rise and collapse of the old power. What is this power? The power is the US dollar, right? As we all know, that's the power of the world. And now what we're seeing is in our lifetime, right? And why people are saying what they're saying when it comes to the crisis globally is we seeing a power push back, right? Not only that, the Federal Reserve and the currency supply and inflation and people not understanding and comprehending what's really going on and not understanding the mechanics behind the currency and also the mechanics behind money, right? Now let's just go into what's the difference between money and currency. Currency is the fiat currency that we deal with when we talking about the dollar, right? The American dollar, that paper that we use. Why do we use it? Because it's lightweight. Now, what is money? Money is gold and silver. Right? What's the main difference between currency and money? Money can be stored and hold for long periods of time, meaning that it holds its value and its purchasing power over long periods of time, right? But it also has all the other characteristics that currency have, meaning lightweight, it's fungible, it's you can use it for trade. It'll hold its value as long as we the people, that's the third part of that title, we the people give it its value, right? But on gold and silver, it holds its value based on the resource, the resource and the elemental bind that it has to the planet itself, right? So we got to start understanding when these people out here talking about global collapse, the money this, the money that, they talking about currency. They not talking about money because money is stored in gold and silver. Gold and silver will always hold its value. And one of the biggest things that we do as people, or not we do as people, but the people that have the power, or what we call elites, government, right? The Federal Reserve, they want you to believe that we have to invest in gold and different things through stocks and with the currency, or keep the currency held, or save your money and this, that, and the third, but or save your currency, but they're not telling us the right way to do it, right? Everyone that has a little common sense knows that they should be putting money into what? Gold and silver, our currency into gold and silver. Why? Because that holds its true value over time, right? Doing my studying and doing my research If you just look at it from a plain point of view, the same gold from Egypt, and whether we claim Egypt is in America or we claim Egypt in Africa, the same gold and silver from that time, guess what? It holds the same value. It holds the same value. And then when we go back and look on the flip side and look at the fiat currency, the currency never, 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 never succeeds. It only lasts for a period, and then what comes back in play? Gold and silver. So what we seeing is a transitioning. This is why in scripture it says the last shall be first and the first shall be last. It's different perspectives talking about the same thing. See, my culture, my community, we like the gold, the silver around our neck, in our mouth, this, that, and the third. That's what we do. That's not by coincidence. Because when we look at what's going on in the world, we get ready to see a transfer of wealth. People are doing this unconsciously and consciously. Some people are out here going buying they minted gold and minted silver and different things like that. Some people just out here buying solid gold chains, solid gold earrings, diamonds, this, that. Well, diamonds ain't got nothing to do with this, but gold and silver. Right? So one of the things we got to understand is that currency is immaterial, meaning currency is an illusion in a sense, meaning that we're just putting our value on something so we can go buy the gold and silver and then store it properly as money in a future date where we can then exchange this gold and silver for a different fiat currency or trade it for something or anything that we want on the planet and anywhere on the planet. You don't need an exchange system. Well, you do need an exchange system, but if people taking gold and silver hand to hand, you don't need an exchange system for that, right? Just like with the currency mimics the money, the gold, the gold and silver, but it doesn't keep its value over a long period of time. That's why we're seeing what we're seeing with inflation. That's why the country can be in debt, whatever trillions of dollars, on top of the intrinsic value of the people. That's why I tell people it can't be no money in no bank account because it ain't no money. That's what Yusuf El tried to explain to everybody when he's going into the whole construct of the government laws and principalities. There is no money. When we're talking about currency, money, when we really talking about real money, that's gold and silver. Because when the word with money even came into play, they were doing what with it? It was gold and silver, meaning they were using gold and silver, excuse me. All right, so currency is immaterial. It's an illusion, meaning that currency is directly valued to the person or to the element or asset that ties to the planet itself, a resource, an actual resource that can be reused or recycled. Okay, so that's the whole point of this fiat thing that we see going on. That's going to lead us to a transitioning. It's not a crisis. A crisis is a transitioning. Anything that we think is destructive is the same thing as constructive on different sides of a paradigm, on different sides of polarity. Excuse me. It's different polarities. That's why I say when you say backed by labor, that's what we mean by the value of the people. This is the thing, right? So the only true currency, right, our true money, or how should I say, the true wealth, let me say it like this. The only true wealth is our time and freedom. Freedom is not free. Freedom is doing what you want to do when you want to do it. Exactly how you want to do it at the time you want to do it. That's freedom without nobody interfering, right? Wealth lies in our time. So currency or money, let's go to money, gold and silver, the first thing we had, our ancestors, and we still currently have, right? Because the US dollars wasn't in the time of our ancestors. But what was gold and silver? Real money, right? So during this time that we have now, our time, right? They exchange currency, something that's fiat, agreed upon value. For this dollar is this dollar, meaning a dollar for a dollar, right? Agreed upon value. But for my time, I'm gonna give you 3 hours worth of work for $150. So my time, my value of time is $50 an hour, and they're gonna give you $50, right? Bank notes. That's what those are. That's why I say in God we trust on the back. Because they had when they made the currency and they made the fiat and they took gold off the standard, they made the Federal Reserve. They put God in God we trust on the back because they knew at any time this shit could go into whatever. Because it happened. Why? How they knew that? Because it happened in the past. Because of what? Greed, because of more supply, right? Because of bigger civilizations, bigger cities, more enclosed cities, right? So we have to start to really see, well, why is, why is China, Russia, the wars, these different things going on right now? You got to follow the currency, follow the water, follow the people, right? Everything that I say, everything that I just said, currency, water, and people, all revolve around what's going on in today's day and age. Now, if I can paint an illustration real quick that I was thinking of earlier. Okay, currency is the water, right? Gold is the same as the water because it's an element from the earth, right? It was here when we were here. That's what I'm gonna say. It's a foundation. Okay, currency. All right, because currency is made from elements of the earth, right? Regardless if we print it from the printer, everything that we see is made from earth, right? So imagine, right? You invest in gold and you invest in the water. The more you invest in the water, the more water that goes into the pond, right? The more you invest in the gold stays and sinks at the bottom. It stays level, but the currency rises. I'm talking about inflation, right? So as currency rising, if you ain't investing into the right things, the right elements, the right assets, right? And you just got all your money in cash or all your money invested in something that is unstable, and you know that ain't gonna work in the long run of things, whether you here or you not, because we talking about generational wealth when we talking about time and freedom, because that's what we given our generation, time and freedom, based on the society and the world we live on. Because we can say we can predict the future. Everybody want to be Nostradamus out here, right? But at the end of the day, all we seeing is a recycling. We say, oh, it's changing, it's changing. No, it's recycling. It's a renewing of, right? So if you investing in gold and the currency, everybody else investing in water, right? Investing in water, you investing in gold, the gold stays level. It sinks. It keeps its purchasing power, right? It keeps its value at the bottom, right? All this water on the planet, but everybody going underneath the water to go get the treasure, right? I just wanted to paint that illustration so you see the difference between money, value of money, when we talking about being able to store and keep its purchasing power or value over a long period of time. Because what's the other thing that's here that the fiat currency, when it's gone, it's going to still be here? It's you, your bloodline, your peoples, your culture, right? No matter where you are on the planet. So we have to remember, well, who brings the value? That's why I put us last. Well, who's the underlying thing that brings the value to the money, the gold and silver, and to the currency? Is us. So we have to remember, and everything that we learning tonight, if you're taking notes, that you are the one that sets the value, right? So how you direct the currency, right? How you direct the currency depends on how can I say it? If your money is flowing in the right direction. Meaning if you invest in your water into gold, this the whole vision, or led into gold, the whole vision of the alchemist, right? Your water into gold, you transferring it, you putting it in the right places, then you are more secure than somebody that's just investing their money in money. They invest in the currency in just other currency, but not in assets. They spending it more than they earning, right? Because that's the foundation of money, right? Earn more than you spend, right? So understanding the inflation part of it, and then understanding, comprehending the difference between money and currency, now we can start to move, right? Move deliberately, move with discernment. See, that's one of the biggest things about, how can I say, laws and principles, right? Purchasing power. There you go. So the biggest things about laws and principles open up, right? Or give you access to tools, right? So you can get access to certain things. That's why we have to see and study history, because laws and principles are the foundation of history. So once you start studying laws and principles, then you can see directly. You don't have to be a Notre Dame. You don't have to predict anything. Nobody knows the time or the place when it's going to happen. You can just know based on laws and principles the direction that we're going, because laws and principles are the foundation for all history, of all mankind, of everybody's story, right? So we understanding the laws and history of money and currency. Now you see the difference. Okay, currency is fiat. Money is gold and silver. So now they've taken the word money, blended with currency. Now we don't know the difference. It's public, as the public, right? Because everybody will tell you, the money just paper, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. But you can go out here and spend this paper and get what you want with it, right? But why is that? Because it holds a certain value, right? But the value that is holding is an illusion if the whole system come crashing down and you haven't put the currency into the right asset or into the right element. Okay? So I hope y'all tracking. I hope y'all get my drift, because that's why cryptocurrency is what it is. Even with all the scams and everything that's going on, people get scammed out of real dollars, in whatever currency you win, right? Gold, silver, whatever. At the end of the day, the reason why it's holding so much power right now, because it's not fiat, right? It's not fiat, meaning that it's not water. You can't just turn on the faucet and print as much money as you want to and then just close it. Be like, nah, we're gonna hold some more, then just print a whole bunch of more. We're gonna give stimulus checks and just keep doing all this and rise of inflation. It's a difference. It's a cap on it, right? So that's one of the reasons why crypto is the way that it is, and people are into crypto the way that they are, right? But when you flip that on the opposite side, what's the element from Earth? That's digital. What's the element from Earth? It's gold. So we got to start understanding that, okay, we got to get back into real money. Real money is gold and silver. That's why everybody go by pounds. They used to go by pounds back in the day, because we talking about real money. My mic went out. It's all good. Y'all can hear me now? All right. It's not saying that you're any less creative. It's just saying that they're having more impact with their creativity. Even if they getting biased opinions, even if they get in favoritism because they got family members in certain positions. That's part of the creativity. Creating a situation where they can put their family in position, so when another person step in line, they can get here. Right? That's why one of the things that I don't know if my mic was going dead or they don't want me getting this message off tonight, but we finna work, because they hating, because the last couple episodes we've been good. Mike's been working, so, but not to lose track, right? Not to lose track of where we were. The difference, we just have to start to really comprehend and understand the difference between currency and money, because we got to start making deliberate decisions and having discernment. Okay. Now, one of the things we were talking about, revolution, that's where we were at, the revolution. If everything reset after the cleanup, we still got to start picking new leaders. We still got to start getting the means of trades and start building a new economy, right? Or build off the basis of the old economy, right? Why? How do we know this? Because this has happened before. When the French Revolution, how How the French got the government they got now after the revolution? It's because they built a new one, right? What happened after World War One and all them other countries got destroyed? What they did, they built a new system, a new government. When Cuba did what they did, and Castro did what he wanted to do, what he did, he built whatever he wanted to. These people out here, they take over. People help them take over. People behind the takeover, or people against the takeover. It's a win-win, or a lose-lose, or win-loser. And at the end of the day, what happens? It's a rebuilding. It's a rebuilding or a reset that has to happen, and we get back to the same thing. People like me and you making decisions in order to make the world what the world is, right? And money, currency, and us, the common denominator of it all, are part of it, and that's just what it is, right? One of the things that during my studying that I picked up on, right? Because the world is far more connected. But this is the thing, just because we feel like we're connected, we are seeing a lot more division, right? And one of the things that I've come to realize is that in this division, right, as we divide, we have to not even we really can't divide. That's the one thing is people. Right? It don't matter what you look like, none of that. If you agree with the person, at the end of the day, it's accepted. Because what I learned is the connections of the people, right? Do not minimize the chances of war. So just because we're connected through technology doesn't mean that we're gonna not want to fight each other as we see what's going on now. Just because we connected and we can see what's going on does not mean we have less chances of conflict. That's why we went over the global crisis in the war yesterday. Because as we learned yesterday, last night, since 1979 to 2022, it's been over 22 wars, some still present from the early 2000s, as we see on the camera. So not only that, the Bible scripture, if you into that, says there's wars and rumors of wars. So at the end of the day, if we start to understand that this is a recycling, it's peace on earth simultaneously as war on earth, or whatever we want to call it, we have to understand that this is a cycle. And if you start that's why this age of Aquarius is so important, because it's not just the age of information, but it's the age of understanding, and comprehending the information. And not just that, but applying the information. Because it's actually been the age of information for a while. Information ain't never went nowhere. It's the access to the information, right? So once we see what's going on, right? Because one thing about history, there's no place in time in history where humanity has been all the way wiped out. So if you have any recollection of, you feel like, well, we all finna be out of here, well, think again. There's nowhere in history where the fall of an economy, everybody was just out the drag. Yeah, we had to struggle. Yeah, people had to struggle. We had to get through what we had to get through. But what? At the end of the day, we here now. So what I'm really trying to say is that everything is okay. We just have to start putting in the due diligence behind the information that we're receiving now, and start applying it into our everyday lives, so we're prepared for what we already know that might be coming our way. Whether it's tomorrow, the next day, over there, behind me, it don't matter. We ready. And that's one of the reasons why I'm on here, coming with these different type of topics, because everybody not saying it the same way, right? And not only that, everybody not always coming into the same information. So it's on us to help spread this information so we can start to understand on how to move out here in society the right way, right? So we need to be getting that currency as people and putting it to go, because we know the currency, this fiat stuff, that the illusion that they've been giving it to us, We know it ain't gonna last, because if we do our proper research, or if we've been listening to the right people, then we know it's just a matter of time before it all falls down. And so if it all falls down and I got a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver that I'm collecting for Walmart, Macy's, and these little other little pop-up stores they done had, I'm okay. And if it don't, I can still reinvest that for some more currency and keep it moving. It's not a bad investment either way. That's why it's really called money. It's not called currency. It's not called fiat. It's called real gold, real silver. It ain't no way around it. You know, in the day, if you go with a piece of gold or silver in any place in the world, they're gonna know what it is. You can go in the backyard of the Amazon if you want to. They're gonna say, oh, shiny body with the rock, they might kill you and then keep the gold and walk off. But that's the difference, right? So once we start to see the discrepancies in currency, then we start to see, okay, the actual money, and then where the value actually comes from, because we are the value regardless on the planet, because we are the intelligent being on the planet. This is why we hold the value, right? Because I never really break this down, or I've never heard others break this down. They just say, oh, we intelligent beings and this, that. That's why we hold the value, because we hold the intelligence, or we hold the reasoning and the tools to observe and repeat systems that we agree with from nature. That's how all of this stuff is built, from universal laws, from observation, what we call science, right? This is all life is science. This is all life is science and spirituality. That's why when you blend the two together, you start to really unlock things and really have fun on this journey called what we call life, right? That's one of the things that Da Vinci said, right? So it says, like, one of the other things that it says, one of the things I was studying, it says one of the cases in America right now is like early stages of civil war. And one of the things it says, when the value, right, is more important than the system is at risk. So when we are at, and we I mean, when I go out here, I mean, let me say it like this. Sometimes in the media, I see people upset, or they tired of what's going on, right? But most of the time when I'm out here talking to everyday people, some people ain't got a clue what's going on. Some people tired of what's going on, and some people think everything is good. Some people like what's going on. They can't complain. Like, this is what it is to them, right? But we have to really get to the point where we see what's going on in front of our eyes, in the sense of using discernment and not going with the narrative that people are putting in front of our face. Because all of these politicians and everybody, the president, all of this stuff, they don't know what they doing. Like, this is the thing. And I ain't saying they don't know what they doing because they don't know what they doing. I'm saying they don't know what they doing because they just like us. That's just like us being in position to lead the whatever we finna lead. What we finna do? We finna do our best based off the information that is provided for us, based off who telling us what, based off who lining our pockets. It's not that hard, because we go to work every day, right, to support whatever we supporting, whether it's your family, whether it's a vice, whether it's a lifestyle. It doesn't matter. We going out there to do it. And the thing about it, this the crazy thing about it, that's never going to stop. Whether this can be warland over here, blowed up buildings. It's third world country, right? Just like what we see on the news in these other places over here. Guess what? We still gonna go out here and do whatever it is that it is to survive. Meaning, go out here, find food, go out here and help somebody, go out here and be out here trying to mess with this look, your wife, these girls over here, women over here, dude over there, you over here. It's still gonna be things going on, regardless. You still gonna be burying your loved ones. You're gonna be crying. You're gonna be going through. You're gonna be laughing at something. What I'm saying is, it don't stop. We some people have put in an illusion where especially in religion. This is why you have to really use discernment in religion, because we feel in a sense that something or someone is going to come save us and stop everything that's going on, when the someone and the something is you or the masses acting as one. Because all I seen what was going on reading Revelations and different parts of the book is revolution or revolt, or are we going against the system? Me and my dogs going against the system. Me, hey, I had a dream last night, boy, this junk ain't right. Or I had a dream last night and you the one. Are we going to anoint you? It's the same thing that people still do today. And it's nothing different. And there's nothing wrong with that. Let me say this. It's nothing wrong with that. I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast with Elon Musk. And one of the things that Elon Musk said, he said it's scary either way. He said it's either we out here by ourselves and we just out here. It's just this simulation, this game. We just out here by ourselves, or is other people out here. It's either one of the two. And when you break it down from a logical or a creative standpoint, it is. And then from just them one of the two, then your creativity can go wild. Because that just reminds me of the seed of life, consciousness looking on itself, aware of itself, one of the two. And then bam, creativity flowers. The seed of life flowers into the tree. Flower of life, however you want to say it, right? So it's the same thing in every system that plays a hand on the systems that we build for one another, for each other. And money, currency, and our value is a system that we have built for ourselves in society that we live on, right? And always say we, because we can't point a finger at a leader or a follower, because regardless, we are involved either directly or indirectly, meaning either you are aware of it or you're not aware of it. Either way, you involved. So we can't run away from the fact about us being involved, because we just more involved in the elite plan of world domination as the person that work at the McDonald's we pull up to go get our egg McMuffin. It's the same involvement, whether you believe you involved or not. And when you start to accept how involved you are, then you can start taking the game a little bit more serious, because now it's like, okay, I know I got to recycle. I got to move on. So it's like, okay, boom, let me start to implement the things I really want to see in society into society, whether I'm working my 9 to 5, whether I'm starting my own business, whether I'm a community activist, a community leader, a service provider. It does not matter. What matters is the application, right? The ambassadorship from a spirit realm, from a spirit body, and implementing what I have to offer from a creative standpoint, from infinite creativity, from pure potentiality to society in the realm that we live on, whether negatively or positively. It doesn't matter, because we all coexist based off the law of polarity. We cannot just be peace, all kumbaya. Because at some point in time, while we dancing, somebody gonna bump into each other. And then they're gonna be like, ah, regardless of how many times he brushed it off. Are you good, dog? Are you good, dog? Are you good, dog? Bro, that's the 100,000 times you been bumping into me, bro. I'm tired of this. Forget all this peace. Why? Because it can't uphold itself that way. So we have to really start to understand universal laws. That's why you got the brother in the club that brush it off when you step on his white forces. You're like, nah, bro, you good. Even though you got them big dirty Timbs on, you stepped on his forces. He's like, bro, I'm good. But then you got the boy or the dude, the man, you in there with he in there with fresh forces on. You step on him with the same Timbs. As soon as you step on him, like, what's up, dog? Bounce. Might steal off on you, throw his drink on you, whatever the case. Now y'all in there tussling. Shootout, whatever. It done led to whatever it done led to, because somebody done stepped on whatever, or somebody bumped into, and it was supposed to be an entertaining night. It was supposed to be a vibe. It was supposed to be, man, I'm with my girl, I'm with my boys, and we vibing, and then it turns to this. So how can it go from peace to war? Just that quick, because that's how it has to be. So you can get the full experience of what this life is. Life is about experience. All right. So that's my overthinking rant. All right. That's my overthinking rant. Overthinking podcast. Let's get back to the title. All right. So money, currency, and the value of us, the value of the people, right? The value of the people has to be returned. How do we return it back to the people? By investing it back into what we always considered our value: gold and silver, land, assets, tangible. When I say tangible or non-tangible assets, it really don't matter. Resources from the earth, right? And then the currency representing that, but the currency not outweighing the value of the people first, and then the value of the money in the purchasing power. All right. So that's the system that we reverting back to. That's the system that we got to revert back to, because at the end of the day, it is a lot of people tired of how everything is running. It's a lot of people tired of the wealth gap. It's a lot of people tired of the middle class being pushed. Either you got to do this or you got to do that, right? Everybody getting tired of, I'm going to be real with you. Everybody getting tired of the success gurus and the manifestation gurus all in their face on the YouTubes every day, or the Facebooks every day, or whatever you own every day to try to keep you positive, so you can go out here and chase whatever, not understanding the laws and the principle of numbers, or the laws and principles of value in the sense of numbers. I mean, if you got two bodies, right, depending on whether you got the most successful mentor or the worst mentor, or whatever the case, it becomes a point where you got two bodies or an equal number of individuals where 50% of them is doing most of the work anyways. And that law keeps going the more and more people that you have. That's why if you got 1 billion people on the planet, it's a small number of people that's running everything. Because it's a law. It doesn't have to do, it's not a personal thing. Right? We can't take things personal in the sense of, oh, they out here because they're doing this because I'm black, or I'm this, or I'm that. No, they ain't got nothing to do with that. It's laws and principles out here. And if you don't go by the laws and principles, then it is what it is. Because, and the reason why I say that is because, right, Africa, for instance, got billionaires in Africa. But then why Africa over there looking the way that it's looking at times? Why these parts of Africa looking the way they looking? Why y'all still in this doing these type of things, right? Israel, y'all over here doing all of this. Well, where's the Zionists at? Well, where's the people that y'all supposed to be saving all the money and storing all the money? Y'all supposed to be the bankers. Well, where is this at? This is what I'm saying. That's why I say this is an illusion. It's a game. It's a game. But you got to understand what you're looking at. It's entertainment, right? So when you start to see, okay, these global powers, these nations, they out here playing the game. They trying to see who can run it for the longest. They out here trying to put their people, their culture, what they represent since they was the little baby boy growing up in wherever the hell they was growing up. They just want to put in for their country now. And now they president, big papa of the country. They trying to do this, trying to do that. It's what these people doing. Because if it was us, we'll be doing the same thing. Some of us, some people, they be already a sellout or a foreman or a bug or whatever. But at the end of the day, these are people that look like me and you. And then some of us, sometimes I throw people off when I say this, but this is things that I hear, right? When people talk about reptilians, insectoids, right? Aliens, right? When we talk about these different things. But the problem is, this is my problem. I haven't had a visitation or nothing like that. People have said they didn't have visitations, but the problem is you had your visitation, right? But you look like me and you telling me your story. I get you got mediums and all of this, but at some point in time, you got to understand all information is coming from people that look like me and you. Or it's coming from your instinct, your intuition. And all of this stuff is on the mental plane, which is part of the ether on the planet. that our bio aroma field, however you want to call it, that's connected to everything else on the planet. So it's another over the thinker rant. But so all of that ties into the money, the currency, and everything, and the value of us. Right? So we just have to remember moving forward that as we see the crises come to pass, and it won't be the. I was born in 91. Okay? I'm a 1900s baby. So if I was born 1900 baby, early 2000, 2008, that's the first time I seen actually a little crisis or a little crash. Right? I remember gas price almost got up. Well, we down here. I was in Virginia at the time, so it was like $4, $5. My parents were like, oh, tripping and stuff. I remember that gas went from $1.95 to where we at now. So at the end of the day, when I go back and do my research and people are talking about the transitioning of how the fiat currency is being played out, I can see it happening in my lifetime. When I go back and connect the dots, though, I got to go back and connect the dots, right? That's why on information, you have to do all information, intuition, these different things. You have to always go back and use discernment, or go back and connect dots when it's time to, right? So if we see something playing out, all you can do is prepare yourself. You cannot get distracted, right? You have two forms of entertainment. You have entertainment to distract you and entertainment to prepare you. Now, it's your job to use discernment on who you want to listen to, how you want to listen to, and then use that information that they're giving you and apply it to your life. Because that's the only way you're able to capitalize off the information that's given to you. That's the only way you can get its value and actually use it and apply it to increase your own value. See, the thing about infinite pure potential and infinite creativity is just it's not singular, right? It's plural. It takes all of us. That's why the people will always hold the power, because we give each other the value. We give each other the power. We give each other the support. We give each other the service. And then on the back end, because of the law of receiving and giving, right? We start to receive again. So we live in an abundant force of value when we dealing with who we are as the people. And that's including the 1%ers at the top. See, they want you to believe that, okay, because we hold this currency, right? And you have put us or voted us into position to make plays for y'all, we got more power than y'all. See, that's an illusion. See, power is an illusion. See, power is a gift granted. Power is not something that you just wake up and be, oh, you came out your mama's womb with the power. No, power is granted. Right? And it's granted by whom, though? The people. Right? We got to remember when, like, I tell people all the time, right? When they talk about, they try to put a name on the Most High or on the unbound and different things of that nature. I say one of the first things in scripture that it tells you, I'm known by many names. Why? Because I'm with the people. I'm not with you just as an individual. I'm with everybody. That's how I know what's going on. That's how I see everything that's going on. That's how I know what you're thinking before you know what you're thinking. Because I'm already here with the people. I'm already vibing. That's why you ain't got to go nowhere to find somebody or find a savior. When you look in the mirror and realize who you are and who you vibing with, your peoples, your brothers and sisters, and it take everybody to realize that. White, blue, black, alien, reptilian. It don't matter. Any creative building, any creative being on the planet, it does not matter. And you know what's the funny thing is? We can't run away from it. You can do the praying, you can do the spiritual journey, you can do the shadow work, you can do your light work, you can go do your sun magic, you can do your moon magic, you can do your breathing techniques, you can do your meditation and your affirmations. You can get the $1 million. You can get the billion. You can have $1. You can have a 50 cent. Or you can be homeless. You can be broke. But as long as you here, ain't too much changing on the plane of existence that we're on, because it's operated by laws and principles. So once we start to really comprehend, we can really take this money game, the currency game, and do it how we want to do it, which I'm learning now, right? Instinctively coming into certain things. This is why instinct, intuition is information, because we have instinct, right? Intuition, where we like, man, or it's pulling us to do something. So one of the things that I've been telling people, it was instinctive, like I was intuitive enough to start thinking like, man, I should start buying gold and silver from Walmart, these little petty stores and different things like that. Why? Because first, I know it's gonna hold its value, and then I see what's going on. It ain't gotta be a minted coin. It ain't gotta be in the trade market, the stocks market, or digital. No, go out there and just go get you something and start, right? Because either way, you good. And that's the thing that I ain't got my sweatshirt on today, but I usually wear a sweatshirt where it say it's all good, because it is. Whether it's bad too, because it's always going to be good, whether we perceive it as bad, whether we perceive it as negative or evil, it's always going to be good. Why is that though? Because positive always outweighs negative. We think that, it's a balance to it. No, it's a source to it, and the source is a positive source. The source is a positive source. Just like you can love somebody or love something to the point you bring destruction. Appreciate the love. To the point where you bring destruction. You love it so much that you bring destruction. So you can be blinded by love, but then that love turns to a kindled hatred, a kindled jealousy. And so then you act in a certain type of way. So everything has a source. That's why I say the positive outweighs the negative. Because for the negative to exist, the positive was here first. That's how the positive know it can't just hold up on its own, because it needs a reflection. That's why in quantum physics it says you cannot have mind or the universe without mind entering into it. You can't. The plane that we in, right, cannot exist without us being here. That's what that means. Meaning, if you're not here, it doesn't exist. You're somewhere. You're somewhere else. Like, I don't know where you are. You're on another plane of existence, but you're not here. You get what in this what we call perceived universe. You're not here. So it has to be a mental and a universal thing that's connected through ether. But that's another thing. And then let me not even say that's another thing. Let me say it like this. We can connect it with money and currency. Get back to the topic. Right? Currency is what? A reflection of money. It's a placeholder of money. I don't feel like carrying my gold and silver around, so I exchange it for the fiat currency because it's lighter. And I can go do what I need to do with it real quick. I can just throw it in my pocket instead of walking around with a whole bunch of gold shackles. Chicka, 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 chew, chew everywhere. Right? So we see the same thing. Right? You cannot have currency without money, right? You cannot have the universe without the mind. Every law reflects in every situation that we see in society, no matter what plane of existence or country or land you own or realm. All these words mean the same thing. That's why I use them the way that I use them. Right? So we have to remember, right, that if we're going to be connected, we have to create more safe places. Let me say this again. If we're going to be connected, we have to create more safe places. We cannot allow propaganda We cannot allow terrorism, terror, tyrants, people that are unwise or have built the character based on manipulation of others. We cannot be distracted by these things and use discernment through the connections that we build in today's day and age in order to create more safe places to get us to or back to a singularity point. I hope y'all got that. I know that was a mouthful. But we have to create more safe places because like it's the story goes and the saying will always be and it will never go anywhere. And this is why we have to really be together, is that there are people in high places. There are princes of evil, princes of war, princes of all of these different things in high places. And their job is to distract, deliberately distract with discernment. And the word that I like to use, tricknology, to get us out or to distract us from what we are supposed to do as people in order to keep them accountable as people as well. No matter if they want to feel like they doing satanic work, all this stuff is a distraction, man. They got you believing in Satan. They got you believing in this, thinking this, satanic this, crystal this. All this stuff is just distractions, right? But to a point where if it doesn't prepare you, that's when it becomes a distraction. Let me say it like that. Because if it's preparing you for what's to come, then you're good. Because at the end of the day, you're all good regardless. So we have to create more safe places and realize that, okay, if we're gonna get this information, we gotta continue to apply this information. We got if we're getting currency in, we working our 9 to 5, we getting this currency in, let's make sure we putting this currency into right assets. We're not talking about no cars and no houses, right? It gotta be some type of precious metals and different things of that involved as well. Right? We can't just get into the illusion of, well, we trying to get this big house because we trying to start a trucking company and different things of that nature. By all means, go do it though. I'm not saying not to go do it. However, you're trying to get your currency flow, get your cash flow. It's one of my favorite words to use. However, you trying to get your cash flow, get it. But the thing is, what do you do with the currency once you get it? It's just like the information. What do you do with the information once you get it? So what we do with it is very important if we're investing that currency back into real long lasting assets as in gold and silver, right? And then on the back end, we're still investing into things just in case they say, oh, the crisis is supposed to be coming in 2024, but they don't see it until 2044. You get what I'm saying? It was like, oh yeah, they had the numbers mixed up like they say about the Mayan calendar. Talking about, oh, it's supposed to be 2012. Man, I threw a whole end of the world party, December, whatever it was, 2012, December 12th, 2012. We threw a whole end of the world party, aliens on the cover, all that. Guess what? It wasn't Independence Day, people. I wasn't the girl on at my house. Remember, they looking up, doing the party, and no, nothing happened. Guess what? We here. We working on podcasts now. That's what we doing now. So I'm just saying, man, y'all just have your wits about you. Do your due diligence. You know, y'all follow me. Y'all like y'all go on my YouTube channel. Cause I'm gonna keep giving this information just like this. We can't continue to sugarcoat stuff and expect to get the result that we want to get. We can't continue to keep saying whatever outlandish things we want to say about particular races of people, this, that, and the third. Bro, at the end of the day, we all getting down. We're all getting down. Everybody in the game right now, whether it's CPU or it's player one, whichever one you is, however you want to go, everybody's in the game right now. So we can't continue to shun away people and expect that we're going to reach this peaceful time. We can't keep saying uh pointing fingers, this white supremacy, this black power, this Asian takeover over here, and South Africa coming on the back end with the Hispanics. Like, yeah, whatever it is, right? It at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it takes all of us to make it work. It takes all of us to make it run. Especially as much as the world we connected now. So we cannot continue to get desensitized and distracted because of what they want to put in our face. Right? We cannot, because we have to uphold the value of ourselves. We can't let 1% of people devalue 90% of the people, 99% of the, that sounds crazy. We sound crazy as the 99% if we feel like it's 1% of people running everything, they just devaluing us. And then on the back end, we just turn the blind eye and just say, yeah, man, whatever. We still gonna do whatever they. So it's, at the end of the day, what I'm saying is we can't have it both ways. It's either, like I was saying, when the values are more important than the system, then the system is at risk. When we start to value ourselves, okay. When the values are more important than the system, then the system is at risk. That's why it's important. It's important to understand the value of who we are as people, right? Because, like she's saying in the comments, right? Culture, race, we bring the value to all of that. That's not somebody talking out of a cloud talking about, oh, y'all the chosen ones and then y'all not over here. Who's told you that? Now let's be real. Who told anybody that they was a chosen set of people or this, that, and the third when everybody on the planet feeling like they chosen? Yeah, you right. You chosen to live this life and get this experience. So do your best with it. Because we as people, where do you derive these values from? We derive these values from our intelligence. This is the thing, right? We gotta start using common sense as in saying, as okay, there is a source, right? When we look around and we use observation, meaning we don't speak and we just observe with senses, right? Intelligence is subjective, right? But intelligence is just a word to describe something. All titles are subjective to something. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can get caught up in what I'm saying, right? But the real reason why we hold the value and this transcendent value is because we can observe with our five senses greater than the lion can, greater than the tree can. It's not saying that it can't, but there's a different value between the two. How do we know this? We see it in our society with creativity. So the value comes from the ability to observe and repeat, because life recycles. So that's when I say we hold the value. That's what I mean. We are the substance that brings what we see to life. Like everything around me, you see these things on my wall. It took somebody like me and you in order to get it done. It's as much as we want to use our imagination, our creativity to create beings that look like this and higher than this and higher than this and higher than that. And they supposed to be these gods and magical beings in these drawings looking good, big canines coming out. They mix with the elephant, goat, and all of this. Guess what? That's somebody's creativity that they drew, that they was inspired to draw through dreams, through intuition, through intent. And it was their desire. And they seen it through observation. That's why you can tell that's the elephant trunk on that person's face, because the person that drew it observed it. Even if that was a real deity and it came, That person did what? Observe. So the value comes from the observation and the ableness to repeat and recycle what we see. Like everything as we see does something similar to that, but it's only to a certain level. And we are the ones that bring it to its peak or help bring it to its peak, or hopefully one day we can get to the singularity. That's the whole goal of it all, right? So I appreciate the questions, y'all. Okay, so I'm glad you asking that question. So I went over that the other day, the purpose, like the purpose of life, right? So we were talking about that, and um we'll be ending it about 10 minutes. I usually stay on for about an hour, y'all. So I answer this last question, and then um I'll see y'all tomorrow night. But the purpose of life, right? So when I was explaining that, we were going over about what is it all about, and then also the purpose of life and death. And one of the things that I was saying about the purpose of life and death is if we observe, right? If we be silent and we observe, one of the biggest things on how to apply the law of perpotentiality is silence. So once we are able to be silent and observe, then we can really see what the purpose of life is. The purpose of life, right, is first experience. What is the common denominator of all life? Of all life. Now I'm not just talking about humans now. I'm talking about your organs inside your body and your cells. I'm talking about the roots in the ground. I'm talking about the soil itself. I'm talking about the bark on the tree, not just the tree, but the bark on the tree. I'm talking about the sap within the tree, right? I'm talking about the salt that salts the ocean, right? Every single thing that's seen and unseen that makes up the realm that we live in is an experience or is having an experience, indirectly or indirectly. So the basis, the purpose is experience. And then after experience, is to move on. Because nothing, universal law, nothing is still, right? The law of vibration. As we as humans being have a purpose. See, think about purpose is always here, right? So purpose is what you want it to be, right? Because purpose is a part of creativity. Because understanding purpose, using purpose, having purpose is here because purpose is a tool, right? Because once we find our purpose, then we can start to strive, we can start to have discernment, discretion, and make deliberate moves in how we want to move in life, right? Because we feel like this is our purpose. So we're into this. But the thing about purpose is here. Purpose is here. Purpose is what you want it to be, right? So your purpose is in life is what do you want to experience, right? Negative or positive. That's why when somebody figures out what their purpose is, they're willing to go through the negative to get to whatever end goal they have, right? That's why the desire from within, that inner portion of you, that burning desire, right, from your solar plexus moving to your crown chakra to get you to where you need to go, right? If our chakras working together, why? That's, you see what I'm saying? So purpose, it's another word, it's another title, but it's all based on our creativity and what we choose, right? Based on what we have been given to choose from, based off the information that's been given to us. Because all of us operate off previous information that has been given from someone that looked like us, from intuition, from intent, from dreams, from meditation, right? All of these things, visions, that's all still information. It's still information. And that information is designed to be applied to your life, to have application to your life. And by you having application, having action, and applying certain things from information that you got, you find purpose, or you come into your purpose, I should say. You come into your purpose if you're looking for a particular individual purpose. But purpose is a foundation for everybody. Purpose is you can be whatever. Your purpose could be fishing. Your purpose could be playing soccer. Your purpose could be talking to kids and motivating kids. Your purpose could be uh taking out garbage. Your purpose could be whatever it is. At the end of the day, purpose is a foundation for everybody to choose what they want it to be. It's part of the creative juices that makes us who we are, right? So we shouldn't really get caught up in what's the purpose, as in, well, let me gather the information I want to gather so I can start to apply it to my life, so I can see what I got, I can really choose from as I want is my purpose, right? That's why they tell us that's why the education is so misconstrued, because they want you to go after a job, this, that, and the third, instead of going off of your creativity. Creativity, right, is how can I say that? Creativity unlocks the tool of purpose. Okay, creativity unlocks the tool of purpose, because purpose is a tool to get you access, right? Because once you start going into your purpose, you start have to access to things that you want to have access to. And we ain't talking money, right? We're not talking money, right? We're talking about work. We're talking about the things that I want to do in order to get the byproduct of what we call money or currency. Okay. So, but I get where you're coming from, as in the sense of the creator and different things of that nature. I agree with you more than you think possibly. But everything that I'm explaining is from laws and principles set up by creative power. Because if I'm creating something, I'm put it to you like this. If I'm creating something, I'm putting everything in laws and principles, and I'm leaving it alone. I'm going to create something else. I'm not coming back. Look, the Simpsons don't go back and just rewrite the first episode. No, they don't go back and rewrite the episodes. They're not going, people go back once they create something, they might go revamp it or do something like that. But most of the time, a creation is a creation. A garbage can is a garbage can. It's created. Now you can make whatever type of garbage can you want to after that. But the garbage can, once the garbage can is created, it's created. The chair I'm sitting in is created. It don't look like every chair, but the chair that I'm sitting in is created. So, and once they created a chair, all they did was what? They manufactured, they kept repeating it if they wanted to keep making sales. So at the end of the day, once we start to understand, okay, if we're pure creativity from a creator power, right? Then we have to understand that the creator might just be creating and just say, hey, y'all go ahead and do your thing, because I've already set it up for you to do your thing. I'm not going to be working that hard. I ain't got to be, because I'm the creator, right? I put in the work from the jump so it can now run itself. Your body, right, tells us that, right? I know. Well, I'll be on again tomorrow night. Well, every night we're on. I'm on 11:45 to about 12:45, 1 o'clock. Much love. I appreciate the questions, man. I really do. I really do. I appreciate the questions. I really do. Um, so tonight it was a good topic. I appreciate the questions. We went into the purpose. Tomorrow, we actually gonna go into deeper on that. Let's actually do that. Tomorrow, episode 5. Sorry if the table's shaking. All right, we're gonna get into more about purpose. Okay, purpose, the real you, part 2, purpose, and just seeing. Well, I already think I did a part 3, a part 2, so we'll probably make it part 3. Why not? Purpose and understanding, um, the tool and purpose, right? And just like he was saying, it's a much bigger topic. Everything is a much bigger topic because everything needs to be discussed, right? We need to have open discussions and have open, safe places, in the sense of we can speak freely as and accept That has to be one word that has to be used. Speak freely and accept what everyone has to offer from their perspective and their truth. So we'll talk about purpose and truth tomorrow. Purpose and truth, and we'll go from there. I appreciate everybody joining tonight. If y'all did not catch the full episode tonight, y'all can go on my YouTube channel. It'll be up. The first 3 previous episodes are up. I'll be uploading the 4th and 5th tomorrow. Well, the 4th episode, the 4th episode tomorrow. And so I appreciate everybody. Much love, like always. Peace, love, and life. And I'll see y'all in the next one.